beep, 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 beep. Hold up. You guys have been chatting for a while, so they're going to go. Well, you guys have had your conversation. We're still in combat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I assumed that. I was basically just going to keep my back up against the wall, next to that door that he's shooting through, so I'm easily able to, reach anyone that tries to come in, and that's it. The only thing I've really done is for my maneuvers is talk to them and take my axe out. That's it.
Right. Okay. I'm looking up something right fast. His agility. Their agility is 3. 3 you guys. So I guess it still uses the same thing. All right. We'll see what happens. Dun, 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 dun. You hear a clang against the floor near the doorway, and a grenade rolls in through the doorway. And how does this work? That cancels you. I gotta look the stats up on grenades. It just says, hey, they have 2 frag grenades. And I would assume that stormtroopers are ruthless enough to, oh, I know my buddy's in there, but he's dead. I'm just gonna start railing grenades in here. They can't get any better. I definitely hit. I'm just trying to figure out how the hell it works. If I have to target somebody, or if it's just like I'm targeting space. That's where it gets a little weird to me. I think of grenades in terms of I can just put them in an area and they do damage, but I don't think they work that way in this game.
Well, we had that grenade kind of roll through the manhole in the last session.
Right, but it actually rolled the right thing to use its ability to blast. Otherwise, it's like basically you're trying to hit somebody with it. Like that's the way I was reading it. Grenade ranged. Okay, did that. Yep. +6. Crit is 4. So I guess I need 4 advantages to even be able to use its blast ability. So what the hell does it do if it doesn't blow up? I don't know. These damn things don't make any sense to me. Let's assume you had enough time to die, by the way, because it doesn't do anything.
Are you sure?
Like, the way it reads is like blast, you have to be able to activate it in order for it to do the blast.
Okay.
And to activate it, you need to roll like it's the crit version.
Advantages.
Yeah, it's the crit.
But doesn't it have doesn't it also have a damage rating? Like just the grenade just has it.
It does, but you have to hit somebody with it to do that. So it's like I throw it. No, he was throwing it into space because that's what.
I think you still have to roll a hit.
Yeah.
Depending on the distance that you're throwing it.
Yeah, we can only throw it short, which is, like I said, another. Yeah, it's not a combat system. I get it. He throws a grenade in there, it blows up, nothing happens to you guys. It's easier to just say that and move on, because according to the rules,
so we were wise enough to
not stand. Yeah, wise enough not to stand in the doorway and have your conversation. Yeah, it's one of the frustrating parts of this. Not that I was intending to kill you guys with it, but it's
here,
as a player, you can't do it either.
No, the thing is with Blast, I think Blast activates. I think it activates regardless, and you take a damage equal to the blast rating, which is the
So that doesn't seem right though. It says if the blast quality doesn't activate, the ordnance still detonates, but bad luck or poor aim on the part of the firer means the explosion may not catch anyone else.
Active qualities require 2 advantage to activate. Okay, so it would require 2 advantage to activate.
Oh, so so he did get 2 advantage. I thought it needed the
crit rating.
Where did I get 2 advantage? No. Is that in the same thing somewhere? This is the same problem we have with our X-Wing games. Guess I should read the whole rule.
Okay, yeah. So since blast is an active quality, it has to be triggered, and they're saying often by spending 1 or more advantage to activate the effect.
Yeah, active qualities require 2 advantage to activate unless otherwise stated in their description. So it's 2 advantage to activate.
Does blast show? And the frag grenade doesn't have a blast advantage.
it has it in. It has it in
the
the.
blast.
Yeah, it has it in the tail end
Is it
of it.
parentheses?
It's blast
What's
6.
the number?
Blast 6.
Oh,
So that would be what you get
that
if
would
it's
be
triggered.
that.
Right, but if it doesn't hit, then I need to have 3 advantages in order to have it actually hit. And he wasn't rolling to hit anything; he was rolling to space, to territory. So he hit what he was rolling at, which is the floor right near you guys. But I would have needed 3 advantages to activate the actual blast since
You missed.
Since I
Okay.
missed. Actually, I mean, I technically hit.
What do you mean?
This is-
Shit. So if you hit, the way I'm looking at the table, if you hit, it would be as if you were shooting somebody with a heavy blaster. So that's where the 8 damage would come into play.
Yeah.
But if
And
you
then
got
everybody
enough
else
of
would
the
get 6.
successes, that's when the
Everybody else
blast
takes
would
the
come
6.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you roll?
I rolled 2 hits and 2 advantages.
Okay. So yeah, you succeeded and did you roll any? And you rolled for the difficulty, right?
Yeah. That was
Okay.
after I
Yes.
ran
Okay.
cancel.
So the attack hit.
The floor took the 8 points of the actual center of the blast. I
Okay,
guess is
and
how
then
that works.
everybody else would take the blast 6
6 and the
plus 2 for 1 for each hit.
and yeah, you guys are close enough to have called it anyway. I wasn't sure if there's a radius on it or 6 the radius.
Yeah,
as well.
everyone engaged with the original target. So unless we were short range from the ladder to the door,
Right. Which is
then
where you guys would have been. You guys, I at least I assume you weren't right at the corner, but maybe you were. I know you guys had just popped down the stairs or down the steps.
Right. I was closer to the door than any of them.
Yeah, he would have been
But,
engaged with the space unless he actively moved away, which I don't think he did. I think he was just turned around.
Oh, no, I didn't.
yeah. So it might be that just Slashik got this essentially.
We'll just go with that. So it would be. So it is 6 plus the 2 advantage, or the 2 hits works just like a weapon.
2 hits.
That's right.
So it'd be total of 8.
Right.
So what I get like a 1.
Okay. Oh yeah, I have soak.
Yeah, you get your
Yeah,
soak
yeah,
on.
Yep. So it's 1 damage.
Okay, so you see a grenade tumble into the door right behind Slashik. It goes off, and you don't feel anything. And what was that? It went off, and apparently he blocked enough of it that you guys didn't feel the grenade come down the hall. His clothes ruffled
Hang on.
majestically in the wind.
Let's assume that since I took a wound, it was enough. It was enough to kind of like hurt. It was enough to hurt. I mean, obviously
This was the only thing
like a paper
Slashik
cut.
didn't do, and why he has to lose points here is he didn't dive and cuss. Otherwise, it was like action movie trope. There are Imperials behind us, and he turns. It blows up like right behind him. Frames him in the hallway really nicely. Okay.
All right.
So yeah, you guys can continue.
I'm gonna move up to where the blaster just where the grenade just went off. I'm gonna shut the door.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna shoot the panel.
Okay.
In true Star Wars fashion.
Yeah, we'll make that your 2 actions or your maneuver and action for the turn.
Got it.
He walks over and does the classic movie trope of shut the door and shoot the lock.
Yeah.
And back to you guys. Well, you don't know what's going on, but they're moving. You just don't realize it.
All right. Yeah. So I am actually. Well, I guess okay. Wait, am I still in my strange voice?
Oh my gosh, I had that on the whole time.
Yeah, you had the whole time.
Guys.
Yeah. It's actually working.
That's
don't
really
jinx it.
funny. Yeah.
Don't turn it off.
Okay, so you guys go up the stairs. Get a vantage point. I'm gonna check the entrance and see if they have like a commander or more troops that are gonna kill us if we end up going back upstairs.
And I'm going to do just that. I'm going to go down the hall through the door so I could look in the bar central.
Are you like rushing through the door?
No, I'm rushing to the door, and then when I
Right.
get to the door, I'm gonna kind of like looking out and just really looking everywhere.
Okay. We'll send you a text.
Okay.
What are the other 2 doing while he's doing this?
Phil just took his turn, I think.
I
so now it's
assume I'm
Kurt.
already all done.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Kurt, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm wanting to make sure that there's a way out of this place before I go back upstairs.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell everybody before I type then.
Yeah, I'm not.
You see a very large number of Imperial troopers and security guild folk in the bar up front, all pointing menacingly with weapons towards you, towards the door, because they hear blaster fire and stuff.
Now, when you say a large number of,
As in, if you step out the door in a menacing way, we might as well just start the campaign over with a new set of characters.
okay, good to know.
I mean, you guys can go full Sundance.
Yeah,
Butch
Rambo
Sundance
style.
if you want to, or Young Guns. Y'all could totally throw Biff out in a box and have him come up shooting.
Right. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the door and I'm going to turn to Kurt before Kurt even gets a chance to look out
there. Kurt, Oscar, let's get the hell back upstairs.
So if it's me, I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna go back up to that damn ladder.
You're going up. You're going up.
Yeah, I gotta go up.
Okay. You can make it. You can make it to the top in one maneuver, and then what's your next maneuver, sir?
So I'm up at the top now. Let me look at that map. I'm up on the top. Yeah, that's the top.
Oh, you guys.
Okay. What would be a good thing to do?
I have an idea here, and I think we'll be okay. I just got to see what Kurt does first.
I have an idea. New plan.
Yes, I'm gonna. If I can move up, I think I'm gonna. If I'm looking at the right, yeah, this is the upstairs. I'm gonna come up the hole. There's a wall to my left. I'm gonna walk up that wall and kind of maybe take
You mean the
take
couch?
a peek around a corner.
You mean the one to your right that goes towards the storage bay?
Yes, creep
Okay.
up that wall to the right. I suppose I said left, huh?
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah, because I want to get some eyeballs on the troopers that I think are going to be like danger close here. So
You're correct. They are standing right there at the entrance to it. They haven't stepped in. They have guns pointed in that direction.
okay.
And into the thing. Hold up. I guess I should roll. Let me see what their perception is. Let's see here. You guys making me do all the evil things. I don't like doing as a GM. Dun, dun, dun. Where the hell did you go? The Galactic Empire bureaucracy. What great. If you guys ever need to fight like accountants or anything like that. Let's see. Perception. Oh, they don't have any skill in it. Shocker. Let's see. Well, they see you. Hey, over there.
Hey, you.
You drop your weapons. Throw down your weapons and prepare to be judged.
So is that it for me? Can I get off a shot at them?
I'll let you take a shot. Why not?
Oh.
It's your call at this point.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
Oh, this is fun. I'm just scrolling through all of my text on my email today. I'm like, interesting. Like,
so short range.
Slowly scratching things out. Nope. Yeah, short range. Yeah, you're right on top of them.
One success, so that would be 7 + 1, 8.
You hit one square in the shoulder, but he doesn't go down. Mark that down. And now it's their turn. Ooh. Let's see. That's one of those. And you're at short range 2. That cancels you out. Yeah, I don't think advantage has helped me. 12 points, sir.
Okay. And I got 3 soak. Okay.
And it is back to you guys.
Wait, Kurt, did you have like a armor or anything to give a setback die or anything?
No, I'm sitting there with heavy clothing, so that doesn't do much.
It's just soak. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, just trying to make sure. Okay. Oh my God, I'm getting a headache, guys. All right.
I'm sitting here. I don't know if I should help you guys or not.
No, don't help us. We got ourselves into this pickle. We're gonna get out. So obviously we heard blaster fire from upstairs, which is not good. Phil, I think your turn is next.
Yeah.
Well, it's
okay.
whatever order y'all want it. You have 2 slots that you can.
Well, can I do a free speak my vocal cord? Use my vocal cords before you.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. As long as it's like I said, as long as it's not a conversation.
Yeah. This won't be a conversation. Yeah. So Oscar's still there, down with me. So I'll say,
Oscar, we should get up to the office, and we should part of the glass there leads outside. We could get outside that way. There's dozens of stormtroopers out here, and there's security guild officers. We're definitely not going out this door.
Are they outside the front door, or are they inside?
They're all in the bar. They're all inside in the bar.
All right. Yeah, sounds better than shooting our way out through 20 dudes. Let's get up there.
Yeah. Okay.
So
go
who's me or him? I can go. I mean, how far is it going to be for me, J-Bot, to get up there? Like, what am I looking at maneuver wise and action wise?
It's you can get into combat with them, but you wouldn't be able to swing. You'd have to double move unless you can burn strain. I don't know how you guys are on strain. So if you get 2 moves, it would take you to get there. You're essentially at medium range from them. You just have to go up the ladder to half that distance.
So you're saying if I burn 2 strain, I can get up in range and swing at them?
Yep. You could move again, and then attack.
Okay. I will do that, and I'm going to, for thematic purposes, say that I probably, as I'm running to the ladder, I'm putting the axe back on my shoulder strap so I can actually get up the ladder. So when I'm swinging at him, I'm probably using my claws again.
That's fine.
Just for the sake of immersion. Okay, so and I'm assuming I see Kurt holding some part of his body because he just got hit.
he would have got shot pretty square in the chest. Probably punched him pretty heavy in the chest.
Well, then we're gonna call that the incentive for me to kind of jump over him and get into combat, protecting my comrade from further damage, hopefully.
One never knows.
You inspired me, Kurt. I'm here.
Swing away. So you're
okay.
at the top now.
All right, I am getting my dice. And
okay, here for Kurt. A little S here for Stashik.
Excuse me. Okay.
Oscar still downstairs.
Are you drawing bodies?
No, just putting number like where you guys are at on my little map. Keeping track of where you guys are moving around to.
All right, so I have 3 success and 3 advantage. So let me do my math real quick.
Yep. Yeah, don't forget your advantage can do all sorts of stuff, especially with 3 of them.
That's true. I also have, with my claws, I could disorient one of them. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I also could. Did I get 3?
Yes, you said 3.
Yeah, 3. So I could also do a crit. Does a crit automatically kill a minion?
Yes.
I think I should probably use the 3 advantage to kill the 1 healthy stormtrooper, and then let's see how many hits. I got 3. So and then that's going to be 10 damage. So it's 10 damage with 1 crit.
Yeah, so you'd kill all 3 of them with that. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. You killed 2 of them.
2. Okay.
Forgot they have 5 soak, so that you kill 2 of them.
All right.
Let me mark them off of my.
Does the last remaining one, is that the guy that's already been hit by Kurt?
Yeah, we'll make it that that way, just for ease sake.
just for
simplicity's sake, we'll make it that way.
All right. So I went all rage on these guys after seeing poor Kurt getting shot. Excellent. Yep. All right, Phil. I think that's it for me.
Yeah. Now, I have a question here. When we unlock the door to get into this place, that door from the bar into this corridor.
Yep.
Would that have unlocked it in a more, kind of permanent way, where, as in, like, these guys could just open that door and come on through, or would it have locked again behind us?
I never really thought of it either way, and you guys really didn't specify. I think it would automatically lock behind you guys.
Okay, so
when it shuts, because it would have been like it's like a security door, anyway,
okay.
so it probably did.
I'm gonna go up the ladder.
Okay. Okay.
And when I'm up there, do I have line of sight to one of these stormtroopers?
He's in melee right now with
he's in melee with
Slashik. Yeah. I think you could shoot into combat, but
you can shoot in, but there is a risk. Yeah.
I don't have the rules.
I think it's best if I don't. I'll use the other action to start heading towards the office.
Okay. Okie dokie. And back to them, huh? He will back up. Oh, I should say the stormtrooper will back up and start shooting with his now not so cool dice at Slashik, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I guess I should put the difficulty down there. That might help. Get rid of you and one of you.
Is this the start of a new combat round?
Yes. No,
Okay.
This is it's the end of this one. They're the last to go.
Yeah, because
actually,
these
no,
guys
wait a minute.
already go.
Yeah.
We
shot
get
at
a
me?
player before.
No, it would have
they
been
go,
you. That was the last step of the last round. So then it was you two
Oh.
guys. So this is the first go for me of this round, and then
Okay.
it's back to Kurt. Like Kurt would be able to move, and then
Okay.
So, he shoots at Slashik and does 11 points.
Ah, dang it, man! My
blaster
brother has this great phrase which I love, which is how do you eat a whale, and it's one bite at a time. So
All right.
these wounds are slowly stacking up.
Yeah, I bet they are.
Okay, you said it was 11.
It was 11 total. Yeah, it's a blaster
Okay.
rifle. They do 10 by themselves.
Yeah, you got it. No problem. No problem. I'm
So
taking.
just making contact with you is going to do 11.
Okay.
And so now it's back to Kurt. So Kurt has his opportunity to.
Or it's any of us, right?
No, the other two have already moved.
Because this is the end.
I'm so,
This is the
I'm-
end.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would normally be any of you, but they've already used their turn for this turn.
okay.
Yeah, you're the last.
Obviously, I'm
one.
confused. Okay. So
You've got one that's left that he stepped back to short range from Osculate and pew, 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 shot into him. And he's wounded, though. You can tell he's the one you shot pretty good. And that's the only one you see. You can actually see him. And he's not in melee. So
yeah, I suppose I got to take the shot and try to eliminate him, and then work my way towards the office.
Yep.
So, shoot, I got to get back into the computational device here. Okay. So ranged light, and it's short range. Okay, one success, one advantage. So that's
Okay.
going to do 8 points of damage. It's 7 native plus the 1
Yep.
on the success. 8 damage, and
yep. You catch him in the other shoulder than the one you shot the first time, and he spins around. And his blaster clatters away from him. He's down. You hear
Okay.
the door. So that's. Oh, actually, you can move. I'm sorry. You're allowed to move.
yeah. So now I want to head in the direction of the office.
Yep.
I don't know. Do I make it? Do I get halfway
No,
there?
it's medium range, so you would be able to get like
Okay.
halfway across the room. Most of the
Okay.
way.
Is that where Phil's at about now, or?
Yeah, because he moved. You came up and you were downstairs to begin with. So you came up and then moved across the room. Correct, Phil? Yeah, so you guys would be right neck and neck now. You two would be. And Osculat's still out on the walkway.
Osculat?
No, I'm sorry, not Osculat. Slashik, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're still out on the little walkway where you were fighting them.
And I'll use the advantage that I got for the next character. I'm going to boost whatever they want to do on the next round.
Okay. Whoever goes first, just remember that. The one that was beneath the stairs that you had wounded the first time, Slashik steps out from behind and boo, 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 shoots up at you. He's not by himself. The other three have turned around. Actually, I'm sorry, you don't see the other three. Forgot they were going underneath you. You're at up above. Elevation doesn't do anything, does it? I think it does.
You could say it's a range band, maybe. Or
Yeah, here I'll give him a black dot. Add to it just because it's a weird angle. You're above
it should
him.
be very. Yeah.
And he missed. Actually, perfect blank. Washed and everything. So he shoots up, hits the railing right along you, just like in the movies. Boop, 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 boop. It's not able to get a shot past that stupid railing. If it had been a concrete wall, he would have picked you off. But if it's a railing, a couple little wooden spindles, he can't get past it. It's almost like pyro was set there for some reason. So that's the end of that combat turn round, however they like to call it. So we go back to 2 of you guys can go. Whichever 2.
All right.
Yeah. Who wants to? I can take last licks. I think because I'm closest to the.
Well, you should
storage.
go. You should actually go first, so they don't have any chance to shoot at you.
Oh yeah. I don't want them to shoot. That's a good point. All right. So Slashik's going to. He wants to move towards the office, but he doesn't want to make a direct beeline there. He actually wants to go on your picture I'm looking at and just kind of look into those rooms as he's making his way to the office. Because, even though this is a crazy situation, he's always got his mind on the hunt. And
the doors are shut.
Are they shut and locked?
No, they're not locked. But if you want to sit there and open them, yeah, you're gonna have to take time. You hit the button, they'll open. And then you look, and then you move over. So I'd let you get through the first 2.
Let me do that. Do
that. Okay, so you open the first one. It's a bedroom. Nobody's in it. You open the second one. It's a bedroom. Nobody's in it.
All right.
It's kind of a
sounds
bunker
good.
room. Yep.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, so that was him. Next.
Now, yeah, good.
All right. I'm going to continue into the office. I'm going to take the should I use the so in the office, one of these windows overlook is to the outside, right?
It's like the top half of the windows, right?
Yes, it's kind of like
the
top half, yeah.
All right, I'm going to look through the window, see if there's anyone out there.
You can't really see. It's all you see below you is kind of the hood of the ship. If you remember the front door that I kind of drew you guys, it sits back quite a ways from.
So we'd be able to get like on top of the ship, basically through that window.
You'd be able to, if you could get through the window, you'd be able to like be on top of the kind of front facing of the ship, like the hood. You'd be over the hood, and beneath it is where the door to the club was going in.
I see.
Phil, you should also be able to see into the bar from where you are too.
Yeah, is that also? Yeah. What's going on in the bar?
Are you going to go take a peek, or are you stopping at the doorway to look, or? I'm looking something up right fast.
Yeah, I didn't our good friend J-Rod manage to shoot somebody through that window?
As a matter of fact, he shot 2 people through that window.
Yeah,
which I forgot to mention. There are 2 bodies in here laying on the floor near the window. This stupid high roll that he did.
Yeah.
But yes, he did shoot through the open glass.
All right. I'm just gonna focus on the window to the exterior. I'm gonna go up to it point blank. So
it's, if you remember, it's right above the down part too. Does that make sense?
So it's pretty much the same
Right,
place.
it's like
It's the same place.
window.
It's like so if you're standing at it, the bottom half is sloped away from you, like up and away from you, and the top slopes.
And is there
towards...
there's like open windows to the
Yeah, it looks like they've converted it so that they can be slid open to look down into the bar.
Right.
And they're open. So
yeah, can I just shut them?
Are you that's what I'm saying. Are you going over to the window?
Yeah.
All right, then.
Sneakily.
Gonna...
I mean, I'm not gonna just bumble up.
Well, I'll just go ahead and do it. I'm not going to roll for it. A large amount of blaster fire comes firing up through the bottom of the through that open window. I'm trying to read something right here. Yep, I mean a very, very large amount of fire that sounds vaguely familiar to something that you got fired at earlier in the evening.
Okay.
It's a somewhat deafening noise.
Is it punching through the glass at all? The transfer steel?
As a matter of fact, it's not.
All right.
You see it impacting on the bottom side of it.
As much as I can do, but
yeah, you see it impacting on the bottom side of it, like we're not making it through the door. It's actually, or not making it through the window. It's actually deflecting all, or whatever it does. Does it deflect or just?
I mean, I'd like to shut this if there's a button or something to shut this, but
yeah, if you got up close to it, you could probably find one eventually.
Okay.
It's like the old school. It's like you have to shut it from above. Like you have to get up and like your house windows. It's not, but I think that would be funny. Yep. So next, or that was both of you guys.
I think it's actually
that was
you next.
two.
Oh, that was right. Let's see who I have still alive. Oh, everybody's still.
Guys shooting up from
the ground.
Yeah, there should be. Just
I've got one.
I've got
one that was shooting the other three. Oh crap! He shot the lock, didn't he? You hear? You can't hear it, but it's like this one's locked. Go the other way. Go back around. You don't know, but that's what's happening. They couldn't get through the door, and I don't know that they would have the ability to anyway in Star Wars kind of terms. So they turn around and start hoofing it as hard as they can back towards the
elevator.
Elevator, yeah. The three that you're unaware of.
Right.
You don't know exactly where they're at, but that's what they're doing. So now it goes to one of you guys. So I guess Kurt.
Yeah. I suppose I'll go into the office. I can get there, right? I covered half the distance.
Yeah, that would be one maneuver to get you in the office.
So, with the way the window is designed, can you actually open the top panel of one of these closed windows to go out?
No, make me a, well, for you, it'd probably be average knowledge roll. Just actually, education. You have an education. Make me an average education roll.
Yeah, that's great. One fail and two advantage.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on, Kurt? Come on. That's got to be like 18 dice for you to roll that. No, you don't see a latch.
Okay.
But there wouldn't be one unless they retrofitted it into it. Unless they purposefully built one into it. There wouldn't have been one on the lower half unless they purposely built one into it. But you don't see any obvious latch to get out that way.
So at this point, I think I'm gonna talk to Oscalet and say, if we can't get out this way, we may have to fight our way out the back of the ship, assuming there's a back door.
It's the outside of the station.
Yeah.
Oh, we're backed up to the station. Jeez.
I'm not there with you. I can't talk. Okay.
You can yell. You're close enough. I mean, you're.
Yeah, but I don't know what
short
they were
range,
like
so whatever.
talking and
Short to medium.
unless they were talking on the open comm link. I guess I could. No,
Yeah,
don't worry
just assume they're open. They're on the open comm. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's hectic enough that
You're not that far away from us.
Yeah, you're not really that far away. You're outside the room. You're like short range from the door to the room.
Yeah.
And like
Because
short,
I'm at that
shortish medium range to be where they're at.
Okay.
Osculate Kurt, is the glass blaster proof? Can I throw a desk through the window? What are we thinking here?
Looks blaster proof.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to try and cut my way out or muscle my way out, unless you see any other way.
Nothing so far.
I don't know where else to
got
go.
nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, about that time, you hear a squeal in an intercom system you didn't realize was there. Cuts on. I gotta do this. Sorry, guys. I gotta run a GM's prerogative now. All right, we've had enough fun and games. Can you guys please surrender here before we have to kill you all? I really would rather not have to do that. The fire from downstairs stops. The firing up through the window.
I'm not in a rush to surrender to Imperials.
We don't recognize the voice, do we?
Make me a average perception roll, everybody.
Two successes.
Sounds like Clayson.
Oh, damn it.
So I'm wondering if the girlfriend's around someplace because I got a threat. Perception.
He's probably got some you probably noticed the porn that was still running on the processor while he didn't close it down after running through his computer earlier.
Yeah. If it's Clayson,
Come on, guys.
All right.
We've got plenty of troops out here. I mean, I don't mind sending more and more Imperial troops after you guys.
All right, I'm gonna
target practice.
I'm gonna go up to the window and shout out, "Why are you even trying to kill us?"
A different voice speaks. Because you guys are terrorists. You've set bombs all over this place. Yeah, we assume you're part of the cell of Valian. I mean,
Shit.
you seem to be everywhere on this station here recently, at least from eyewitness accounts. It's a very Imperial sounding person. I can't do the voice. I can't do a British accent, unfortunately.
We've got the wrong guys. I hope you. I hope this all.
I'm afraid
I will surrender, but that's preposterous.
Based on how many of my troopers you've injured.
They shot at us.
I'm sure they'll beg to differ in that.
They won't be begging at all, actually.
All right, guys. I think we're cornered here.
Yeah.
It's Clayson. We might have a chance, but if we keep fighting, I think they're gonna get us.
I think you might be right. Do you want me to try the vibroax on the starship window just to see?
I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think vibroaxes go through. Transfer a steel armored window that a light repeating blaster can't get through.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
it just drops the armor or soak by 2. I think isn't it? That's all it does normally.
The axe, the pierce 2.
Yeah, I believe I read it somewhere that armor, like one ship armor, is like 10 soak. I believe is what I I read somewhere when I was digging through the thing.
Right.
Well, geez, man,
Okay.
that's close. I mean, I feel like
Yeah, you could nick it if you hit it with everything you had. You could nick it.
all right, very well. I'll take.
You
I'll
might
take
get the blade
GM's.
lodged into it. Ting! Well, there's one.
All right, all right,
right.
all right.
We can't fight the whole station
Well-
off.
I
It's Clayson.
agree.
He'll look out for us.
Oh man, I hope you're right. All right, let's do this.
All right, I'm gonna
Yep.
shout out the window. All right, we're coming out.
Drop all your weapons, please.
Yeah, of course. Yes, yes.
All
right,
the
we're gonna-
It's basically out the window. Out the window, please. If you
Yeah,
don't
second.
mind.
Clunk, clunk.
Yeah, I'll my.
Clank, 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 clank.
I think at this point I'm willing to obey. So I think we should all probably just follow instructions. Throwing my axe out.
All right, I'm gonna
How-
carefully lower my backpack with my blasters in it, and gingerly drop it to the ground. This is very expensive.
This is where trust me, like y'all went a lot further than I expected you to. This was I was like, why are they not surrendering? Like this should be
No, they
this
just
is
started
Star
trying
Wars.
to kill us. That's why.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Okay.
Slashik attacked. Like, it's
I
like-
see.
It's like you see,
Yeah, there.
you see 8
That is
stormtroopers
true.
He went raw and attacked.
To be fair, to be fair, to be fair, I'm running down. I'm looking for, who got Jared. Why is Jared gone or dead or whatever? And I see stormtroopers. I see 6 going into the storage bay, and I see 2 there. They say, "You on the ground." I mean, my first thought was not to say, "Okay, I'll get on the ground."
Oh, I know,
All
but it's one of those where, like as soon as you walk to the front of the place, you're like, "Oh crap, the whole damn bar's full. We can fight them off. We can fight 'em off." I'm like, "Oh god."
Yeah. Well, I never thought we'd be able to fight them. That's why I really did think we could get to those windows. Not really thinking they were that starship grade still,
Yeah.
but I obviously missed it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
that's
All right.
that's all in the past. We made our choices and we're
Yeah.
fine. I got
All
some
right, we're
points.
gonna go
that's fine.
downstairs. We're gonna go.
Yeah.
Downstairs we go.
So we'll fast forward you a little bit. You disarm yourself, unless y'all want to do some shenanigans. You disarm
shenanigans.
yourselves.
It's
Yeah, you disarm
Not a good
yourselves.
idea in this scenario.
Yeah, and move downstairs. You see in custody, J-Rod. He is handcuffed over to the side. Looks to be unconscious. Looks like he was. He's got a nice what
It's
looks
all
like
J-Rod's fault, really.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, it probably is his fault. It has what looks like the equivalent of like a blaster butt on his temple. Nice imprint. So he went down hard. You see, the whole not the whole bar is full. It's not like shoulder to shoulder stormtroopers, but they've got every angle in this place covered. There's 2 guys down there with light repeating blasters. They got big slings. I actually had to read through like, hey, they do get to carry these things. And I'm not going to give you a number. Numerous. There's also a huge number of security guild guys, as in like 10, 15, but they're kind of behind the stormtroopers. They have weapons drawn, but they're not obviously trying to use them.
Okay.
They're there because they're officially the ones in charge. So as you come out, Clayson, doesn't do it. He's just sitting there like shaking his head, just shaking his head. And you are brought out. You get the general treatment of clubs to the back of the knees to put you down on your knees, and they cuff you and search you thoroughly, search you again, et cetera, et cetera. And you're led out of the installation. They would have some form of vehicle that they could move you around. There's no way they'd walk you all over this place. So they'd have some form of golf cart-esque, like paddy wagon, that could move through the streets relatively well without getting caught on things. And you'll see them. They'll drive you around the place. They're not answering any questions. You're very heavily guarded. Kurt, give me a average perception roll as you go. You're traveling for a while, believe it or not.
Well, yeah. Now's when I roll well. Okay. 2 success, 1 triumph, 2 threat.
Oh wow! I'll just tell the group. Actually, I don't know how much of your past they know, so I'll write this on here. Oops. Make sure I'm not sending it to Jake.
Right. Slashik is just that perceptive.
Yeah.
Damn, Phil, this is quite the thing, huh?
Yeah.
So you guys travel for a while through the station. They're making a beeline. They're not zigzagging all over the place. And you eventually stop in a relatively nice, towards the center of the station, relatively nice area. It is late at night, so there's not tons of people on the street watching you go by, although it is busy for nighttime because you're in the center of the city and not everybody sleeps at the same time. So, but you get moved through there. There's no big fanfare or parade or anything like that. And you're taken to what looks like a security guild police station setup that has had all of the police station, like the guild markings and the Malibor seals, taken off of it and replaced with Imperial insignia. So it looks like they've taken over a sector house, for example, and replaced it with their own troops. Heavily guarded heavily guarded facility. And you are ushered in through a side door to this thing, a nice holding area. And I didn't draw the building here, so we'll just make it up as we go. You're pulled in, you're processed. They run all of you guys through guild registries. They obviously find that you guys are recent owners of a new bar in town. Or at least that you've had all, like that. Kurt's had his guild card, like his current station, his current duty station, moved from there, from wherever he was at to the bar. They have you guys on record. I don't know that they have your official names. I don't know. I don't think you guys would have set the bar up under your actual names. I'm going to make that assumption. Y'all would have used some fake names.
That's correct.
Right, but unfortunately, Kurt is in the system. So,
yep.
Kurt is an official guild member, so he doesn't so much stick out like a sore thumb because he wasn't like a big, glaring guild member. But he is a known, as far as they think, commodity. And they set to questioning you. They spend hours questioning you guys. They ask you a bunch of questions. I'm going to go ahead and say you don't know the answers to. You get beat up pretty good because this is like 1920s police, like the way I like to think of this. This is there's no Miranda here. We know you did it. Thunk, thunk, thunk. That sort of deal. And you guys put up a good fight for a while. What you gather through the questions is that they are sure, quote unquote, that you guys are responsible for the attack on Blassos. You guys are responsible for the explosion, fire, or whatever it is at where Mika's girlfriend was at. They don't really know much about the bar other than that you took it over recently. There's no real large amount of details, strangely, about how you came into possession of it. Only that there was, some form of attack. The previous owners have fled the premises, that sort of thing. So there's no 10 people were killed at a local bar, and then the next day was opened back up with none of that's there. So it's just it looks, it's an anomaly, but it doesn't strike them as heavy as anything else. But what you guys are gathering is they're trying to piece together that you guys are at the heart of, that you guys are the Valiant. You guys are all hands of Valiant connected, and that tonight's sort of attack on the bar was the next phase of that, whatever that is. That's what the questions and the way they're asking them, that's the decision they've made. That's the story they're telling. All they need is for you guys to agree with it. So they're trying to beat that into you. Does that make sense? for everybody?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, it does. Sounds like we're in a bad spot.
Right. So this would go on for a while. I don't think Slashik's gonna give in to any of this, so I'm not gonna make him roll.
Correct.
Let's see.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you're not gonna give in to any of this.
I do have a very high resilience, so.
Right. Yeah. Being tough and stubborn. Everybody, actually, except for Slashik, give me a 4-die resilience roll, and tell me how well you make it, how bad you miss it.
I'm failing with 1 failure, 2 threat.
Okay.
Holy cow!
Oh.
I don't know how.
I don't
So
know
I
how many
have-
fails that is.
I got 2 successes,
Ooh.
but 5 threat. I roll three successes on the 2 green die I get. Every single purple die's got a threat, and one of them happens to have a failure. I mean, it's just so 2
Right.
success, 5
2 successes and 5 threat. Okay. Well,
And just so you know, I did feel left out, and I rolled 2 just for my own benefit. So
how well did you do or not do?
I rolled 7 successes and 1 threat.
Oh, okay.
Man.
I believe you. Well, Kurt, 2 things happen. One, you don't give in to anything. Either you had a few drinks there, and so you're limber and loose, and you're already heavily wounded, so you pass out pretty quick. So that's part of it.
That's awesome.
You only have
That's
you
awesome.
only have what, like 2 hit points left in this thing anyway? 2 wounds left.
I
So
had 6. Yeah.
oh, you had 6, yeah, but you're still fairly heavily wounded and strained.
Yes.
Actually, all you guys are pretty heavily strained.
Yeah.
Oh, heck, man.
Yeah. So yeah, you luckily pass out pretty quick. But before you do, somebody there, just as you're passing out, somebody says, "Run him against the Imperial Registry." All right, that's what you hear as you pass by.
Oh, no.
Was 5 threat. I've got to do something with 5 threat.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Because 3 threat equals a triumph, or 3 advantage is like a triumph. So you almost got to double the equivalent of a -1 with those 5. So somebody's running him. They're running you against that very quickly right now. And
This is awesome. This is cool.
and what did you have again, Phil? You had 1
I had 1 failure, 2 threat.
2 threat. Oh god, I got to think this one up. What is your coercion? Let's do that. Your discipline fights coercion, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's see. Roll, because this is going to be a contested roll.
Mm-hmm.
So roll your discipline, but use as the minus for this. However many threat you had, that's your purple, and however many fails you had, that's your red.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. As your discipline roll.
Okay, I'm succeeding with 3 threat.
Okay, you were really, really close to saying, "Okay, I did it." I mean, they were really working everything they knew on you, and they had you really, really close to making you believe. Even you were like, oh, "Maybe I did do it. I don't, I was there at the Great House meeting," and so you were really, really close to it. They're like, "All right, we'll come back in the morning. He's about to break. We'll come back." What happened to the other 2? Well, that stupid Trandoshan's just laughing at us, and the and the Slicer passed out. Like he walked into the room and he saw don't they have a droid for this? They have an interrogation droid.
Interrogation droid.
Yeah, he saw it roll into the room and like, just out he went that fast. So he was lucky. He avoided it, but Phil fought. No, damn you, screw you, Imperials, the whole time. And he was where they spent most of the time. You hear a lot of screaming and cursing and, bleep, 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 non-Disney allowed language. And he's like, well, I don't know, run that by me again. Maybe that does sound familiar. And then at the last minute, he swerves away from them. And they're like, forget this. We'll come back in the morning. Or we'll come back in a little while. We'll let them think about it for a little bit. And they walk off. So you're left to your misery for a little while. long while. You guys have been stripped. I might as well do that. So you're naked as the day you were born, whatever that equals for the three of you. And all of your equipment has obviously been confiscated. And you are left alone in your cells, separate from each other. Do any of you want to do anything, try anything before I move on?
Well, just a question on how long, because if I'm being left alone for a long period of time, not only all of us should probably be able to get some of our strain back, but I might even be able to get a wound back. Oh wait, I guess how long?
It's going to be like 8 to 12 hours. I think you would be able to heal a wound. The other two definitely aren't healing anything. That's purposeful. And you would heal strain back. They would not, because they're being tortured. They're being actively tortured. You're just really giggling at it. You're playing along with them. Oh, no, not my toenail. Yeah. That sort of thing. And so yeah, you're almost enjoying it in a way. But they're also with you. They're getting rougher and rougher. You can tell it will be a matter of time and they'll start to get to you too, just because it's the Empire. They've dealt with your type before.
Yeah, of course.
These guys might not know the techniques, but somebody will.
Yeah, I mean, I think that being left alone for a long time, I'm assuming this is going to be for all of us, but we're just going to check out the cells and try and figure out if there's.
It's just up to you if y'all want to, or y'all want to continue. I can move on to the next step. We can scene wipe to the next thing.
The one thing that I would try is just to kind of like call out to see if anyone can hear me or respond to the vicinity. like Osclet, Kurt, where's my voice? Yeah, can you hear me?
Hey guys, are you anyone here?
No, you guys are well separated. You are, you guys are definitely well separated. Okay, so we'll scene wipe just for ease sake. Day goes by. We'll call it 48 hours from the time you approached the bar, not after you were caught, but like the day. So. So they've worked on you guys for a while, haven't gotten anything out of you, and you're spending more time in a cell than you are being interrogated at this point, because they're really are at the point they don't think you're going to get anything from you. You hear, actually, let's adjust things a bit. After the first day, they're really not able to get anything out of you. They put you in cells that are relatively adjacent to each other, not right next to each other so you can talk, but they're all in the same hallway section. So you can tell, oh, look, there's Kurt passed out, 3 cells up. And, oh, look, there's Osclet, blah, 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 that sort of thing. There's nobody else here. It's just the 3 of you. So all of you hear this. I'm not going to bother making you roll for it. You hear what sounds like Clayson yelling at somebody. Like not... go, 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 get him. Nothing like that. Like he's angry at somebody and just tearing the hide out of them. Does that make sense? Like just, you stupid,
yes.
blah, 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 blah. He's doing the
someone's
the 80s
getting chewed out.
Everybody?
Yeah, everybody can hear it. So it's like he's doing the 80s action movie, like Lieutenant, you're a damn loose cannon, you can't blah, 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 blah. That sort of thing. Slamming the door, the blinds shaking, that type of classic thing. So he's laying into somebody. You can't tell who it is. You can't hear his side of the conversation, but you pick up on parts of it. You were supposed to sneak in there. You weren't supposed to start a damn bloodbath. You weren't supposed to blah, blah, blah. Going on and on like that.
J-Rod's getting chewed out.
It's like, this was supposed to be blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so you get the idea. He is getting ripped a new one. And the classic, I don't want to hear it. You ain't got no excuse, blah, 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 blah. Just tearing into him. You've compromised everything. These people, blah, 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 they've worked their asses off. I can't believe you do, this going after him. And he said, get out of my sight. I don't want nothing from you until you, shape up and prove yourself to me again. I thought we were buddies. I thought, that he's really laying it on thick. And then, I know it's not an opening door like we have, but that's the way I always envision it. he somehow, with the sliding, he somehow slams the door as he comes in. Like he hits the button. Yeah, that sort of thing as he comes in into the hallway. He's like, well, that was a hell of a thing. What the hell got into you guys? You were supposed to sneak in. You weren't supposed to gun down people in the club, sending people screaming for their lives. You weren't supposed to gun down all of his people. You're supposed to get in, figure out if they were connected to this bombing, and if so, deal with it. Did we find out if he was involved with the bombs? Do we know any of this? Because I sure as hell don't. So what the hell were you guys thinking?
I'd love to talk about it. Could we talk about it someplace else?
he's no, we're talking about it right now. We're talking about
I had to try.
That's funny. Oh yeah, you. He's pointing at you, Biff. You are one lucky son of a bitch. You are one lucky son of a bitch. He goes, why didn't you tell me you're an ex-Imperial? Why the hell didn't you tell me this? Because I put my neck out on the line for you guys, and I'm dealing with an ex-Imperial, and you don't even tell me. Because you know how lucky you are that you saved Mika's life? Because he kept them from finding you. He watched their feed, and when they searched for you, they didn't find you, but we did. We know who the hell you are. Because you are a lucky son of a bitch. Now I know why you were after Kretzner. He's like, now I know why you're after Kretzner. And that's the only reason I'm here. Because I know you have a vested interest in his downfall just like I do. I'm not sure about the rest of these two because we still don't know exactly what your backgrounds are. But if you're hiding from me the same stuff that he's hiding from me, we got a lot to talk about. So I'm going to leave. Your crap is in the other room. When I leave, these doors will open. You will be allowed to pick that stuff up, and you will go back to the bar immediately. Immediately. You will not dilly-dally. You will not go visit a friend in some other sector. You will go straight to the bar, and you will stay there until you are told otherwise. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, very, very clear. By the way, thanks for the heads up that the place was going to be raided.
Oh, it wasn't raided. It wasn't raided. You know all those civilians that you scared running out of the building? Guess what they went and did? They ran to the cops. And, oh, I don't know. If this place is connected to the Imperials, if they're listening in on our security band and they hear that their little, hidey hole or whatever this place was, because we don't know, because you guys screwed this up so bad, whatever it was, if they find out it's being raided, you're damn right they're going to send a whole freaking cadre of stormtroopers out there. You're lucky I got there. You're lucky I even knew that you guys were doing this. Y'all kept so much crap from me that if y'all had done the same thing and kept the crap from me, you guys would be corpses somewhere. They might have never found your bodies. You're lucky that I got there to stop these guys from just putting a blaster round through you and sending you on your merry way. So,
well, being as that may, maybe you'd be happy to know that we did find out that they were connected to the Imperials.
Oh, well, that's great. Well, I'd love to hear about it some other time.
Yeah.
Especially not with your peckers hanging out all over the place. So, cover your shame. I'm getting out of here. So he leaves. He just and walks out. You hear the same. Somehow the door slammed. Didn't it sound like a door slams?
That's amazing.
So he'll leave. And 15 minutes later, all your cell doors open. All of them, the whole place open. Not just yours in particular, but all of them open. And you are free, as far as you can tell, to leave.
Well, I'm not going to wait.
All right. Well, let's go. Yeah, no, that's fine.
We all just tried to say something at once.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Let's go. Let's get back to the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
let's
my
go.
junk, put on my pants.
Okay, so here's what happened. As you leave, I'll just make this another quick scene wipe. Unless you guys want to make a stop off somewhere.
No, I think we've
Good for now.
we're going to the bar.
Flogged enough.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, y'all been flogged enough. Because he can still cut you loose. So as you leave, there's a crate as you're leaving the actual lockdown areas. Through the door he slammed somehow. You come out. There's a crate over to the side. There's nobody else in the room. You can hear people moving around, like outside the office or the that's not really an office, I guess the area that this connects to. You can hear people moving around in. And when you open the case, it's got all of your clothing, but none of your weapons. So, sorry, gentlemen. But all of your weaponry is gone. All it's got in there is your clothing, and your no credits that you had on you. Anything you had on you was gone, like equipment-wise. So,
Okay.
Congratulations, you have your clothes back. Your communicators are in there, but none of your physical, nothing like active. So if you had stim packs, that's fine. You can keep that. Scanners, you can keep that. You can keep your med kit, that sort of stuff. But like credits are gone, weapons are gone. Those are your two main things that are gone. Everything else is still there. Okay. As you're leaving, you kind of open the door. It opens, and it's an active station. At some point, and you're not sure when this happened, you got moved. You guys have all been in and out of consciousness over a day, but you got moved to a sector house, another one, not the Imperial one anymore. And as you leave, no one's paying attention to you. They're all just going about their business. Assuming y'all dressed. If y'all didn't dress, everybody's going to be like,
yeah, we're all dressed. We're all dressed.
They're just going about their business as if you're not there. You're almost like ghosts in A Christmas Carol. You're walking through, and people conveniently turn around and move past you and not give you a second glance as you leave. And you make it to the street, and you're on your own again. Although you do have an order, but you're still on your own. It's very odd. It's almost like everybody there was told not to. Nothing is about to happen.
Don't look the gift horse.
Right. Yeah.
Don't look the gift horse in the mouth. Just
Yeah, Kurt's had a rough day. He wants a nice, good drink, so he's gonna go back to the bar, get a drink, and settle in for the night and recover.
Okay, so when you get to the bar, and let's call this late afternoon. Actually, we said about 48 hours from when y'all went to go to the other bar, so it's right at bar time. So the bar is open, active for business. When you get there, the bar is open, active. There's probably 15, 20 people in there. You see Kayla behind the bar, serving drinks. You see another female serving drinks, like as a waitress. It looks like a bar. I mean, it like this. You all kind of stop for a second as you walk in, right? You're like, what the hell is going on? Because it looks like an active bar. As you walk in, she runs around the corner. What the hell happened to you guys? Because y'all look like crap. Y'all look like death warmed over in a lot of cases. Because even Slashik has nice gashes and cuts and stuff all over him from their interrogation.
Oh yeah, dude. I've got tons of wounds still on me.
Yeah. So all three of you look really beat to hell. She's like, what the hell happened to you guys?
It's been a long, I thought y'all were dead. Few days.
Like 3 days.
Yeah. Fighting, tortured, captured,
Captured by who?
Security Guild and the Imperials.
Oh, I knew those Imperials. I knew that was the wrong thing to do. I never trust that.
J-Rod. Yeah, J-Rod. You should never have followed him.
He seemed too slow, too crafty.
Arrogant.
Because you're never going to guess what happened. Like 2 days ago, not long. She's describing basically a few hours after you got caught. She's like, Clayson came in and he brought half a dozen people and they work, quote unquote. She gives it air quotes. They're working at the bar now. She's like, every single one of them, he says, they're all like rebels. And she whispers it to you. She almost mouths it. She's trying to be so quiet about it. And she's like, what's happening? She's totally confused now. Like, what's going on? What did you all do? What hornet nest did y'all kick? Your move. That's what she's asking.
We shouldn't talk about it here, but let's just say we're getting closer to what's actually going on. closer we get to what's actually going on, the more it hurts to find out.
I don't know if I ever want to find out if that's how bad it hurts, and you're just a little bit closer.
Well, things could have gone better.
You guys are welcome to go wherever you want to at this point.
Keela, can you tell us where our special guest is?
He's still downstairs. Mika, I assume you're talking about.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I think we should go say hello.
We're gonna go in the back.
Yep. Okay. So you guys can move downstairs. You make it very subtle. All
Can
three
I-
of
can I
you
do a
suddenly
clarifi-
walking into the back with me.
Yeah,
You're
of
like
course.
all three going to the back.
While we're making it downstairs, can I also clarify something with you, Game Master?
Yes.
Clayson came in and actually said, Mika kind of looked out for you, Kurt, and everything. Now, if my memory serves, we hadn't told Clayson yet that we had Mika, right? Like that was going to be our next
that's correct.
plan.
Yep.
So, but he obviously knows. That's like not a Freudian slip.
now.
Like,
No,
he does now.
Yeah.
oh,
Well-
so in our absence, when you took over the bar, put the rebels in, he probably figured out that, oh, you're Mika. They found you. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
remember. Yeah, he did it only a couple hours after you guys got caught.
Right.
So when he came in to install people, he of course knew about the bottom section. So he's like, okay, there's a downstairs, blah blah blah, and like, whoa, who's this? I didn't play all that out, but oh my god, what the hell?
Yeah,
but yes,
okay, yeah.
that's yes, yeah.
All right, sweet. So that's cool. That's cool. Okay. All right, great. Let's go meet Mika. And I think Kurt owes him
He was a
big
little cross
thank
at
you.
you guys, if you remember him not telling him everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you will make your way. I think it would be bad form to all three of you suddenly pile into the storage room at one shot. So I will give you the benefit of the doubt and say that Kurt probably stops for a drink or two, and at least one of
grabbing
you
the bottle.
Yeah, at least one of you is probably going to, into the room where the rooms are at for a few minutes. Because isn't that where you were staying at, Phil? You had a room like at the end, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a room around the corner.
Yeah, so I'm going to make the assumption y'all didn't just pile in there and make it very obvious that y'all were disappearing into the little bitty storage room. But yeah, you all make it down there eventually after a few minutes. It's doesn't need to be super subtle, but you guys all make it downstairs, and Mika's there. Like, what the hell happened to you guys? He goes, Clayson came in here and like took over. He said you guys would probably get dead, and like he told me to hack into their thing, into the Imperial net, and see if I could figure out what the hell they were doing with you. And he goes, hey, Kurt, what the hell, man? You're a freaking Imperial. Like he's like, you're supposed to be dead. He's like, he knows everything, Kurt. He knows like all this stuff. So he's kind of in between that, like, what the hell's going on, and like excited that you guys are still alive.
That's actually kind of cool too, because I actually am not sure if we've ever narratively gone through like backstories. So this might actually be news for Osklet and me.
I don't think anybody has.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Kurt, you were an Imperial?
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah. So I even have to dig that
damn
file
it,
up.
yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
I gotta dig that file up so I make sure I tell the right story.
Do you want to just for time's sake? Do you want to he tells you the story, and then in between game, you guys can read as much of his backstory as he's willing to give you. That might be easier.
right. Yeah. I mean, I think that Phil and I have read it.
At
The
the
thing
same
is
We've read
that-
it already, but
Our
Yeah, at
our
the same
audience
time-
hasn't
That's a good point.
heard anything.
That's a good point. Yeah. Give us the quick and dirty then. Kurt.
Okay. So the quick and dirty is, I was an Imperial, and I was actually stationed. One of my first assignments that I had after going through the academy and the specialized training for my discipline, one of my first assignments was actually at the base that Major Kretzner was running. And over the course of my time there, things looked really fishy to me. And I got really suspicious that there was kind of like a slave ring running at that base. And I was highly suspicious of Major Kretzner. I was talking to a real good friend, an Imperial as well. We both were suspicious. She wound up digging up some data. She was like a quartermaster, and she dug up some data somewhat by accident, and it implicated Kretzner in that slave ring. So we decided to try and get the data and get off station in order to communicate out to the higher ups of Kretzner's treachery. And we made plans to get off the base in secret. She was going to go do a distraction at one of the perimeter maintenance facilities, and I was off to get civilian transport. And the idea is that she would check us in as being on duty at that remote facility, and we'd meet up and run off planet and be able to communicate out all the issues. But unfortunately, she never showed up at the transport. And so I had to leave by myself. And when I got to my destination, I got reports through the Imperial HoloNet, whatever you want to call it, that particular maintenance station or depot station was destroyed, some freak accident. And I've never seen or heard from Jessica since. But I know, I just don't have any data, but I know Kretzner's lousy and he needs to go. And I've just been looking for data and a way to try and frame him ever since.
That sounds a lot like the data kind of right before the Great House meeting.
I tell you, being in a room with him and having a weapon, it was really hard not to take a shot at Kretzner in that meeting. And the only thing that kept me from taking a shot was I didn't want to, in front of everybody, basically implicated in his murder had I been able to take him out. And of course, there were some other people shooting in the room, but I'll tell you, that was tough. That was really tough.
All right, Mika goes, "You were at the Great House meeting? How the hell did you get in there?"
Yeah, that's a long story, maybe for another day. But yeah, I was there. As a matter of fact, all of us were there. That's
he goes,
how you can kind of say.
"What the hell? All of you were there? What the hell do you mean all of you were there?
We were
Who
the
the hell
ones
are
that
you people?"
we were the ones that killed the Hands of Valion.
No, now you guys are just pulling my leg now. That's ridiculous.
Well,
All right, tall tale. I see how this is. It's all just pick on the new guy.
take it or leave it.
Yeah, next you guys are going to tell me y'all were there when they destroyed the Death Star too, right?
Well,
Now that you mention it. Yeah, my secret identity. Damn, you caught me, Skywalker. Yeah, he would be very like kind of impressed and like confused, like how the hell did these three bums get into the Great House meeting like that? That's kind of what he's looking at, three guys who look like they've just gone through like a Rocky movie, and he's like, how did these guys get into the Great House meeting? Like,
Anyway,
did they not get stuck at the door?
Anyway, Mika, just we did want to say thanks. You did us a solid. I think, otherwise we would have had to bust out of there. Would have looked bad for Clayson. I think really you did him a favor. We didn't, obviously would have looked bad for him if we had to bust out of his security facility.
Well, I mean, you guys, basically saved my life, so I kind of owed you one.
Oh, we appreciate it.
Yeah, I know I wouldn't be here right now if you hadn't done that.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Based on what I saw, yeah, you wouldn't be here either. Just by association, they probably would have just dumped all of y'all out of an airlock somewhere.
Yeah, it's rough. Who would do that?
I know that's a horrible way to die. Okay, so
All right.
you guys can settle in.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna drag you guys to another hour worth, but so what's happened here? I will sum up for everybody. I didn't give you guys experience and duty for the last one because it's going to run you over the 100-point mark, which ranks you guys up in the eyes of the rebellion. So that's kind of what's happening here with all this kind of going on. Clayson has had to make, because of your actions and because of how you acted, he's had to take a heavier hand in it. So he's, in a sense, had to play his hand with you guys, and he can't hide from you guys his association. Like he's always said he's a rebel agent, but now he's telling his people that you guys are as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it was before you guys were loose cannons. This is your bar. You figure it out. You deal with it. Now he's like, all right, I'm in. For what it's worth,
operation.
I'm in. Yeah. So now the bar is officially a safe house for you guys. He's got rebel guards there as staff. They will be there 24/7 if necessary. You guys can tell them not to be if y'all don't want them. But they will be there operating the bar. So you guys do not have to do that anymore. And
Very nice.
It will act as a safe house here on the facility.
Good enough to have to garrison this thing.
Yep. You have the option because anytime you roll over, let me read it to you. Sorry, my eyes watering. Every time you roll over 100, we start you back at 0. And when you go up a rank, you have options for things you can get. And let me see if I can find it. Because the rebellion rewards you for your service is what's happening here. Must find it. Sorry, my eyes watering so bad I can barely see. It is duty is what I'm looking for. It's like in the low 40s or something, I think.
Did I get you all choked up with my little backstory? Is that what happened?
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
anytime it gets to like 11 o'clock, my eyes start to water just from like whether it's a video game or whatever. It's almost like my body said, "You need to be in bed, you old piece of crap." 46. Okay. So whenever you roll over to a new one, it's the contribution rank, I think is what it's called. As members of the Rebel Alliance prove themselves trustworthy and capable through their actions, the Alliance makes every effort to supply them with better resources, with which they can continue to advance the cause. When the PCs, you guys, combined duty value exceeds 100, which it will after tonight's session, or really the last 2 sessions, the Alliance acknowledges your contribution by supplying you with a reward of your choice. The players can choose to receive individual pieces of equipment, a party-owned vehicle, or a different strategic asset. Just to give you an example, if the party opts for individual pieces of equipment as its reward, each of you can choose one piece of equipment, weapon, armor, gear, etc., to receive from the Alliance for free. These pieces of gear cannot have a rarity greater than 3 plus the party's current contribution rank, so 4 for you guys.
Okay.
At the GM's discretion, the gear acquired this way can be restricted, so I'll have to make sure you guys aren't buying anything stupid or get anything stupid. If the party selects a party-owned vehicle as its reward, they can choose one vehicle or starship to receive from the Alliance for free. This vehicle or starship cannot have a rarity greater than 3 plus, etc. Price and size of the vehicle is willing and up to me. Additionally, at the GM's discretion, vehicle or starship acquired this way can be restricted. I'm not letting you have one, just so you know. Not yet. Not as a 1.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
If the blasters got blown up, y'all should have saved that one. If the party doesn't need a strategic asset, party doesn't need or want any gear or vehicles from the Alliance, the PCs can instead ask for a strategic asset. This might be a safe house. So what I have done on this one is given you a safe house, so you don't really need that one. So you can choose. I'm basically saying choose a piece of equipment for this one, because I'm giving you the safe house for free as part of the story.
Yeah, I'm looking through the equipment.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Can I ask, is all of our equipment that has been confiscated, is that gone for good, I'm assuming?
Yes, but I will give you a reminder. You have something that you picked up from Mika's that you have not looked into further.
Yeah,
that's true. That was my next big adventure that I was going to try and figure out.
You're going to do. got stolen away from you. Well, you have a moment to rest and recuperate a lot of moments. So you may inquire about that now if you'd like.
May I inquire about that
Just talk to Mika.
sword? Because
that's
well,
what
I did. I already talked to Mika about it before. Remember, I talked to him about that sword, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know. It's just something that Blasto, or I'm sorry, not Blasto, Hardway. No, not Hardway. Yeah, Blasto.
That was Helgen.
Helgen, thank you. That Helgen, said it was cool, and I just kind of collected it, and so I figured that was the only information he had.
Yeah, it's all he had. Well, you spend some quality time with it because it's the only weapon you've got. And since you lost your other one, you spend some quality time with it, and you notice that it has a room for like a battery or a power supply to it. Upon further inspection and filling around with it, it looks to be a fairly archaic and yet still functional vibro sword. And when you finally figure out and turn it on, Mika's like, "What? Oh my God!" It's like he didn't know that he had this thing sitting in his on his shelf this whole time. Man, that's so freaking cool. So congratulations, you have one of those, but you still get your free one.
Sweet. Oh wow.
So that
is it my birthday week again? What's going on here?
No, I was sitting there. I was like, he's gonna figure this out eventually. It's just
it's true. It's true.
Were you opportunity?
Were you a part of that email thread? Because like in my email thread, I feel like I was talking to at least Phil and Kurt about it, but that was the next step. Like, tell Mika, hey,
Yeah, I was
okay. So I wasn't sure like if I was going to give it away to him or whatever. But obviously, it makes perfect sense for me to keep it now because I don't have anything.
Yeah, it doesn't do quite as much damage as your Vibro Axe 1 point. Otherwise, I think it's the same, isn't it? It's got Pierce 2 on it. So is yours. But it's also got Defensive 1, whatever that means. It's the same exact thing, except for it does Vicious 1 instead of Vicious 3. And Defensive 1, where the other one doesn't. So whatever that does. So yeah, between games, take your time, figure out what you want equipment-wise. I expect it to be a weapon of some form. You don't have any money, unfortunately. We will fast forward some from this episode to the next one. Some time will pass because Slashik might heal pretty quick, but you guys won't. It's going to take you some time to heal your wounds, both psychological and physical, from all the things. But that'll give you guys time to work on that, and any like minor modifications and things you guys want to do, just run them by me with their general cost, because the bar might be able to fund it. As long as it's not stupid, because the bar money isn't going to you guys anymore. The bar is now the rebellion's, so that money is feeding into the rebellion. But if you guys need like a small purchase, it's still available.
Now, question: we still had the 4 heavy blasters from that we.
Yeah, anything you guys didn't take with you is still there at the bar. Yeah, and I remember you saying you didn't take the heavy blasters, so those are probably still there.
Yeah,
Maybe,
I mean, I wouldn't have had encumbrance. I wouldn't have had.
I don't know. Santa Claus running.
Yeah.
What's in the bag? Nothing. Bag of blast.
So, I'm gonna assume that there's heavy blasters here that we can.
Yep. If you want those,
use. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah, and your armor wasn't taken because it was clothing. So.
Right. Yeah, and I figured that.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to help us continue improving and expanding our channel's content.